And we're live. Hey everybody, this is number five. All right. Oh wow, we're on the fifth one. This is number five of the Set It Off cast, and it is time to get started. So let's just get into here. I'm gonna introduce everyone. So we're gonna start off with Miss Lynn. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey guys, this is Lynn, aka iPod One Reviewer, and I'm echoing for some reason. Um, let's get this podcast started. Glad to be here. Thanks, Coupon.
Yep. And we have next on our list Miss K. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Miss K, aka 219 Gary IND. Glad to be back on a great cast. Let's set this Joker off.
Alrighty then. We have Miss Mia. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl Nia, the video game her, coming back with another Set It Off cast. I'm just excited. Can't wait to get into these topics tonight.
All right, and next on our list is Meek Meek. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
What it do, my gamers? This is Meek, and let's set it off.
And we have a very special guest today, which I will introduce. Go ahead, Mr. Will from the Wheel of Gaming. Introduce yourself.
Hi! Hi, I'm the Will of Gaming. I'm glad to be here amongst my fellow gamers. How you guys doing?
Doing good, doing good.
And y'all know who I am, your gaming diva, Kuuppon Strives. So let's just get into this. So we're gonna talk about the PlayStation experience first, and I just want to say a few things before we get into this. Wasn't that a boring moment in history? Most of y'all probably seen my little reaction to that, and I had quite some fun in there. Was giggling about some things and whatnot. So basically, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna quickly go over my little highlights, and then I'm gonna go in a roundtable motion to everybody else in the panel, and you just give your kind of highlights of the experience, and then we'll kind of glom over that a little bit, and then move on to the next topic. So for starters, my highlights was Uncharted. It was boring to watch, but you got some QTEs in there apparently. The game itself, I'm excited for, but that wasn't a very good presentation that they did show, and it was pretty freaking lackluster start to the show. Final Fantasy, awesome showing. I love the battle system that they seem to be going on. Most of us, as we know, got information that is probably going to be episodic, so I'm not too keen on that idea, but we'll have to see going forward what they say about it, how the episodes are going to come to be. So, but I am excited about the trailer for that. So that really had me hyped. Yakuza. I did not expect a Yakuza thing, so I'm pretty excited about that. I did like the fact that they talked about that. So kudos to them. You got Ratchet and Clank. They showed kind of like a little beginning of the story of how the two met, because this is kind of like a reboot to the series, so I think that's pretty cool. They have new, I guess they have new different types of weapons and things to go on like that, so that's pretty cool. One of my friends in the background. Eagle Flight.
Oh God.
I had to talk about it. I just have to. If you saw my video, you know me, Zen, and everybody in our group in Reboot Gaming literally lost our freaking heads over this thing. Assassin's Creed Ego has just made its debut in a video game. You know?
Ego site
Oh,
confirmed.
Jesus. And it's multiplayer, might I add. So there's
Why?
that.
Why?
Don't ask questions I don't have the answer to. So moving on from that atrocity, Street Fighter V, they introduced a very wacky character which they could get rid of today called Fang. I'm sorry, he's just wacky enough. Get him out of there. And
Wow.
yeah, and then they had the VR segment, which was a hell to the no. Like if I could get that dude to the nah, hell no. Like you
Mhm.
guys, you're trying to get people to buy your system. You're trying to get them more interested in your, stuff, and you literally are talking about VR. Nobody wants VR right now, so I don't know what to say. So there's that. So I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of like that's just my highlights. Just oh well, we'll get on that. We'll get on. You know what? Whatever. Just those are my highlights. I just really VR.
Wow.
Okay. So Miss K, what were your major highlights for the PlayStation experience?
The experience, probably Uncharted. Well, it's not really. It's stuff that we saw before. Uncharted, of
Right.
course, is one of them. Ratchet and Clank, I was interested in. Maybe Final Fantasy. It's that's pretty much gonna be like Destiny. It
Yeah.
is what it is.
Mhm.
Let me see what else was it. Quantum Break. Yeah,
Mm.
that's about it for me.
I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
they
Those are
didn't
my
show
highlights.
Quantum
Other
Break.
than that, I think I pretty much
They didn't
slept through
show
the rest
much
of it.
of it though.
No, they didn't. But I'm still excited for that
Yeah.
game. So that's about it for me. You know, there
That's it.
wasn't too
Okay.
much of a. I mean, it was okay. But
No, it wasn't. Don't lie to yourself. You
No,
know you
I
were
say it
tired.
was okay.
You
It
were
was like a
sleepy.
it was like a mediocre okay. It was,
Yeah.
I don't
I
know.
don't know. It just seemed like they did they did a Nintendo in my opinion.
Yeah, they
They
started
like
Yeah.
out good, but then they
they
fizzle
started
out. Seems like
it
to me.
fizzled out somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Miss Nia, what was your highlights in the experience?
My
There
oh
we go.
god. Y'all ain't right, bruh. Oh my god.
Oh, they're
Man,
crickets.
look, my only highlights were freaking Ratchet and Clank and to a degree Final Fantasy VII remake. But all the other stuff was I'm all for companies like wanting to try and do something different. I mean, obviously I'm a Nintendo fan, so I'm all about, you know what I'm saying, new and different ways to play and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But if you trying to sell VR, that ain't that ain't how you do it.
Yeah, right.
That's
You
true.
know, like there's certain games, you know, that have a certain amount of appeal to kind of bring people into like a new, you know, way of thinking, and just they just didn't really show anything for PlayStation VR that was very convincing. Like I remember that at E3 Sony had, I think they had debuted some game called Rigs or something like that. It was
Mhm.
like a PlayStation VR game, and like I had a chance to try it out at Prime. Well, I didn't because I didn't want to like I went I had other stuff to do, but apparently it's like really dope. And I saw some gameplay of it, and it actually looks really cool. Like it's a really cool, dope VR game. And I feel like if they really wanted to sell people on VR, they should have showed more of that. Because I don't even remember them showing that much of it at E3. I actually just kind of came up on it because I saw like people, sharing it on like social media and stuff like that. But freaking stuff like Eagle Flight and like that robot golf game, I'm just like, what is this? A job simulator, my dude? Like, if you don't have a job, you can play
You can't
Job
get a real
Simulator, I
job. We got
guess.
something for you.
But it's like they spent way too much time on PlayStation VR, and I feel like if they really wanted to focus on like that new, different way to play, they should have had a separate little thing just for VR. And
Yeah.
like I know I saw a lot of people on Twitter saying something along the lines of, I'm not trying to turn this into like a console war kind of thing, but it's kind of like just differences. Like
Mm.
I remember somebody saying something on Twitter along the lines of, now y'all know that if Microsoft or some other company, has something like PlayStation VR at the conference, like y'all wouldn't even be talking or nothing like that. But people seem to forget that Microsoft had a whole conference specifically about like features and Windows 10 and
Yeah.
HoloLens. Like that was its own thing. They didn't show that stuff at E3. You know what I'm saying? They haven't really shown it at any gaming things. They had a specific thing for that. And I think that PlayStation should have done that. And I understand, PlayStation, they're trying to focus on games and VR is games, but I just think that kind of thing it's kind of in its own little category. And
Yeah.
they just spend too much time on it basically. But I don't think I don't think that PSX was garbage, but
Right.
it was definitely underwhelming, and the
It
pacing
was.
didn't help. So that's
Yeah, that's
basically my
crazy.
long-winded way of saying that I wasn't really too excited for much, other
Yeah.
than Ratchet and Clank for the most
Right.
part.
Nothing
So
wrong with that. All
yeah,
right. Me, what was your? Or you said you didn't watch that one, did you? Or was that
Yeah,
was
I
yeah,
one?
she
watched
watched
that.
PSX
You
with
watched that one.
us.
Okay. So what
Yeah.
was your highlights then?
My highlights, Uncharted, of course, because might as well finish that whole collection. Uncharted and Nino Kuni 2.
Oh
Cool.
yeah, totally forgot
Cool.
about
Yeah,
that.
Nino Kuni 2, and Quantum Break, and for some reason,
They did not show Quantum Break at PSX. That is a Microsoft game. Why do y'all keep saying that?
I don't
I
know.
don't know. That's the only thing. That was the
I'm
only thing we could
tired,
grasp.
but
I think they were talking about the Game Awards.
Yeah, y'all are
Yeah, Game
confusing the
Awards,
two events.
I have so much popped up on my window. I'm reading at the same time.
Mhm.
But that, and for some reason, I want to play Ratchet and Clank again. But
Yes.
that Princess game,
I bought it.
How
it
much
got
was
my attention.
$17.99 on the week
Yeah,
this weekend.
it
Well,
got my
Know that game
attention.
at all?
I
I'm
never
gonna tell
played
you,
Fat Princess, but
yeah,
I hear a lot of
that
people like
princess
it.
on the PS3 was
that was the only game that looked good at those little small games. Was
Indie
that
games.
Yeah, as the indie
Yeah.
game, that
They showed
Princess
a
got
lot.
my interest. And I'm not going to soar or fly like an eagle.
Oh God.
That game took
Fly
me
like an
by
eagle.
they showed that and I was like, what the hell? Really? Somebody really sat down and thought, hey, let's take an eagle and let's have somebody play an
Wait, but it's
eagle.
not just any eagle. It's the Assassin's Creed
Yeah,
eagle.
only and make it multiplayer. What we gonna do? Fly together?
Yep.
That's the
Like,
Birds of a feather
idea.
flock together.
why? No, that
And that,
and that Paragon game looked a little interesting, and Gollum.
Yeah.
Yeah, those look a little interesting to me, but the overall watching that, they just, dude, keep that whole virtual reality stop.
they can't even keep up the Vita. How the hell they gonna do a VR?
That's
They can't
what
even
Oh,
I
keep the Vita
damn.
thought.
going.
They should have used that
Mhm.
time to be like, hey, we can offer some new Vita games or something. Let's focus on that before we start this VR, trying to sell VR, which you didn't even sell that to me
Right.
at all. Y'all need to sit down and think about what y'all need to show to sell me that VR.
And they're gonna need more games.
What you
Yes,
need to do is that you need to
and
experience it for yourself. But how are you gonna market VR? Because it's a headset that you need to physically put in your head in order to experience it. So how are you gonna market that? Not everybody's gonna go to no store. Nobody's gonna go to no specific Best Buy or Toys R Us or whatever
Yep.
and try your VR headset. You need to put it in a
yeah.
place where people can actually experience it.
I
Walmart.
think they
Everybody
need
got
to
a Walmart.
Somewhere.
where they sell games, like Best Buy, GameStop.
Mm-hmm.
Let GameStop now have it, give it to them so we
Like,
can go
let
in
them
there and
have it.
experience that. And then, for the love of God, do not give me a game talking about some job.
Why do you want to come home from your job to play Job Simulator?
Yeah,
You know,
Exactly.
I'm gonna come home. Hmm.
Well, you
Yeah,
could play
I don't.
Crazy Taxi Zombies.
No.
I actually
No,
like that
play
one.
that.
That one looks funny. That one looks funny. I,
Mm.
I actually
I was
wanna.
laughing too much
No.
that I couldn't even pay attention to that one. But yeah,
You know what they
Crazy
should have
Taxi
made?
Zombies. Nothing.
Where's my fighting game in the
Not feeling it.
in the
Oh
VR?
yeah,
Give me that.
they had KOF in there, didn't they?
Yeah, King of Fighters 14.
So excited.
Mm. Eh, I'm still not gonna buy it.
I am. That's the only
Okay.
fighting game I would buy.
Yep.
But so you done with your experience?
And that was it for me.
So Lynn, you're the one that said you didn't watch it, right?
No.
No.
You
Okay.
missing-
I
So
was working when it
from
came
what
out.
you heard thus far, what would you say everybody? What would you say everybody feels about this experience?
Crap,
Wow.
Boo.
basically.
I know,
Bye,
right?
Felicia.
Don't worry, I didn't forget you, Will. So go ahead and give your
Well, my
highlights
personal
that I heard
highlights
you.
were, of course, Uncharted 4 and the fact that it has choices. Now, I don't know if that's going to be the full thing or it's going to be the full game, so it gives multiple playthroughs. Interesting. There's the Final Fantasy VII remake. Of course, I died and I screamed. I wish I recorded that reaction because I was crying like a little baby. I'm just like, oh my god, gameplay, gameplay, gameplay! And I was freaking out. And then I got really depressed this morning or yesterday morning when I found out that it's going to be episodically. And I'm like, are you serious? I'm done. And then so whatchamacallit, I was really feeling one of the indie games called Headlander, which was part of the Adult Swim games. I was really into this game called Zodiac or Canon Odyssey. It was like an RPG. That was pretty cool. Yakuza 5 was pretty good. King of Fighters, definitely. That freaking awesome. I really want that. There was also Ratchet and Clank, of course. I must have that in my life. And I think the only other thing was Nino Kuni 2. I freaking cried. So like with this thing, it's like it literally hyped me up. They show you the Uncharted 4 trailer. They show you the Final Fantasy 7 remake. So you think that the whole thing is just gonna go up from there? Oh hell no! It just did a massive decline. Showed indies, things that people didn't care about, then showed VR and just kept us like dead pretty much at that point. Then they gave me Nino Kuni. I'm like, oh god, so we're gonna see Last Guardian and stuff? Nope, done.
We're done.
I'm like, really? That was it? That was it. I was done. I couldn't. I was so mad. I'm like, what a waste of 2 hours. Just give me a Final Fantasy and Uncharted 4 and I would have been good.
Yeah.
But that was it.
It was like a up and down. It was like up and down. It started off slow with Uncharted, kind of sort of. But I mean, we already knew about Uncharted, so there's nothing to get hype about. And then the you got Final Fantasy. Everybody hype about that. Then just downhill. It's like, what's going on with this pacing? And like after the whole experience itself, pacing wouldn't have saved that thing at all. What I felt like what they could have probably did as far as pacing is concerned, they could have got all that VR stuff out of the way first, all that indie crap and stuff, and then just hit us toward the end with all the other with all the rest of the stuff that the Final Fantasy, King of Fighters, Jack and not Jack and Daxter, but Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah.
Don't give people false hope.
Yeah, and then they could have had that one. And then Nino Kuni could have been the end, and it would have been a nice high note because you had all that stuff going up, and then drop the mic moment, and it's like, cool, great, done. But I don't know. It's just a lot of back and forth. And I was just
I will say, if they could market those gloves he had on, Ryu's gloves, I would buy them.
No.
They do have those gloves. They're in the stores now. It's called the Hulk gloves. You just paint them a flesh color and give them some freaking gloves and you're done. There you go, Hulk smash or Hadouken. And before we go, I'm going to talk about that freaking that T-shirt. Yep, we're talking about the T-shirt. Let it go.
Okay.
Why are you? First of all, this is all I have to say about it. I understand there's people who are upset. The home dude, I don't know that guy's name. I don't care. The home dude comes on stage. He wears a freaking what was this shirt? The
Crash
Bandicoot
Bandicoot.
or Crash Bandicoot, whatever. He wears Crash Bandicoot shirt and no announcement. Why would you tease your fans like that?
Trolling.
However, I'm gonna be optimistic for everyone, and I'm gonna say he wore the shirt, but he had no intention of saying anything because maybe we'll get an announcement later, maybe not. That's just all I'm gonna leave it as. I honestly don't care about the shirt, but that's my thoughts. What are y'all's thoughts?
Why are people reading more into it than they should? Maybe
maybe he wanted to wear a shirt.
I mean, seriously,
I'm gonna say,
nobody wear any other kind of shirt. Don't nobody care. But this man walk out on stage with a shirt on. Everybody want to be all up in arms. So you didn't mention it. You didn't. Who cares?
Well, see, I'm gonna agree with.
Why are you paying attention to this man's shirt?
I'm gonna agree with Kuuppon and say.
Cares?
I'm gonna agree with Kuuppon and say maybe he wore that shirt to just be like, hey, sometime in this road they get reannounced that. But other than that, maybe the man, that's the only shirt he had clean.
Right?
And he had to wear it.
For sure.
You know
Exactly.
Yeah,
maybe
he wore that
or something. And he didn't want
Are y'all serious? This man literally had on a Crash shirt. Y'all think it's a coincidence, bruh?
Well,
They know people been asking
right?
for this game. Why would that be a coincidence?
It might be something to where.
But it wasn't meant for that. For that event.
So they couldn't go to Walmart and get him a plain black shirt, bruh? He already had the long sleeves.
Maybe it was at the last minute. He was like, shit, I spilled my coffee or something on my shirt.
No, but you would still not wear a Crash Bandicoot shirt. The thing is that reason why he was wearing a Crash Bandicoot shirt is that guy is from Naughty Dog, and Naughty Dog was the original creators of Crash Bandicoot. So when he walks out on stage with a Crash Bandicoot shirt and saying that you're gonna get bigger, you think that was good. Imagine what the rest of the thing is gonna be like. And then so then after that, you get kind of confused because you're thinking, oh my God, he's wearing Crash Bandicoot shirt. What does this mean? What does this mean? Because people have been wanting Crash Bandicoot for years. And then so next thing you know, it's just disappointing. And then he goes to Final Fantasy VII, so that kind of deterred, like, oh, okay, maybe they're gonna save Crash for the end or something like that, you know. But the thing is that I'm sorry, but in press conferences in the past, there have been people that have wore shirts, had little tattoos on, something like that, and then they revealed the game by just the shirt they were wearing, and that like hyped people up. So
Okay,
that's what the problem is.
I think he teased you because they're gonna announce it sometime.
Maybe.
denial,
I mean,
Maybe,
honestly,
but I don't know.
I honestly, like I said, I honestly believe that at some point maybe they announce it. Now, however, I'm not gonna get my hopes up. I'm just gonna wait until I hear an announcement, and when I hear one, then I'll get excited. Until then, he just wore a freaking shirt.
Unless they
And
come
so
out
we're
with
gonna
a
move on
news
from that.
conference and he's wearing pants.
That
We're gonna
shirt
move on
was
from
not
that.
like that shirt was not a freaking coincidence.
The infamous shirt of 2015.
That's what we're gonna do.
Reading too much into that.
I feel like he was trolling.
Reading
I feel
too
like
much
he was really
into that.
trolling.
Yeah, he was just trolling. So we're just gonna move on from that. It was just a shirt at this point. Wait until you actually hear an announcement for Crash Bandicoot and call it a day. How about that? So
Yeah.
we're gonna move on to the Game Awards, and I'm gonna basically just kind of read off the winners of whatever the nominees for the awards or whatever, and you guys can just essentially kind of let me know what you feel about that award. So I'm gonna start down here where we got to the best art direction, and then once we're done with this, we'll just kind of highlight the awards itself, and tell me how you guys think what you thought of the awards itself. So for the what is this? Best direction, we had Batman Arkham Knights, Bloodborne, Metal Gear Solid 5, Ori and the Blind Forest, The Witcher 3, and Ori and the Blind Forest 1, which I'm excited about because they deserved something. Damn it.
Yes, they did.
That was an awesome game. So yeah, tell me, do you guys agree with that? Was that one of your
I
picks?
liked Ori and the
Yeah,
Blind
Ori's
Forest.
cool.
Yes, that's a good pick in direction.
Yeah.
It definitely
Alrighty
is.
then.
It was definitely the most unique one in the choices. I was honestly thinking that Bloodborne was gonna take it because of the gothic look,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
but because I'm perfectly okay with Ori and the Blind Forest winning.
Okay, cool. Alrighty, so the next one is the best multiplayer, which which the nominees were Call of Duty, Black Ops 3, Destiny: The Taken King, Halo 5 Guardians, Rocket League, and Splatoon, and of course Splatoon won to everyone's excitement
Had
and
to win.
everyone's annoyance. Now,
Oh,
hold on,
gosh.
before we get into that, you got two sides to this faction. You got people who are annoyed that it won, and people who are excited. Which side are you guys on?
I'm glad.
I'm actually excited.
I'm fine.
I
with
don't
it.
really care either way.
I'm with me. I'm I don't care.
But I'm gonna say, we all know Halo 5 is a multiplayer game. We all know Destiny's a multiplayer, and Splatoon. It came out. It conquered. Can it win something? It deserved it. It's a good multiplayer game. It's fun. It keeps me excited, and I come back to it. So,
And they release
Yes.
maps, and you don't have to
Exactly.
pay for them.
I get Halo 5. I gotta wait for DLC and then pay for it.
I keep getting
Exactly.
kicked out of
Actually,
And plus,
we're about
it's
to get
cheap.
some free Halo 5 DLC
Mhm.
multiplayer.
Yeah,
So
Good.
Plus
you
it's
might want to
good.
eat them words, Meek Meek.
Splatoon is free.
And it's gonna be free, right?
It's
Mia?
gonna be free.
All right.
It's free, girl.
Thank
All right, so that's everybody's thoughts on that one.
Well, personally with Splatoon, I'm gonna be honest. I was incredibly surprised. I didn't think they were gonna take it, but I felt like it was definitely the best one to win because Call of Duty Black Ops just came out. Halo was kind of just kind of there. I just didn't see that winning because Halo's kind of lost its flair since Halo 2, and then so we look at whatchamacallit, the other games I don't even remember, and that's
I think it
for
was
good
Rocket
reason.
League.
Yeah, Rocket League.
Rocket League.
Yeah, of all things.
I honestly thought Rocket League was gonna take it because of the
Yeah.
hype that surrounded it
Rocket
and the
League
fact
is
that it was
huge.
free.
And it
Switch,
has
so I
won some
figured
other
that,
awards.
yeah.
Speaking of that, it's coming to Xbox One.
Yeah.
Rocket League
That's
is
good.
pretty dope, yo. I like Rocket
It
League.
is. It's fun.
I honestly thought Rocket League was really going to take it because they gave it out for free for PlayStation Plus. So that's the reason why I thought it was going to win. But then when I looked at Splatoon, I'm thinking, well, Splatoon really did have that advertisement behind it. It was like in every Nickelodeon, commercial. It was literally everywhere. And so honestly, Splatoon did win. It sold a crap ton of consoles. I personally think it deserved to win. Honestly, Splatoon is a fun game for a lot of people, but for me personally, I didn't. I don't play it. So for me, I didn't think out of all the choices, it didn't deserve to win. But I'm okay with it winning. I'm not angry or anything about it.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, I'm kind of the mind where I didn't think it was gonna win at all. Like literally, I had no. I honestly thought it was gonna be one of the other games or something, maybe Rocket League or Halo or Call of Duty. Destiny, that was never on my list.
Nope.
That was like I was like, why is that even on
Apparently
the list
people
at all? But
play the hell
for
out of
Splatoon to
Destiny.
win, like it seems to be irritating for some folks, but like for me, to be honest, I just don't give a shit. It's cool, yay, it won, whatever, moving on. That's just how I felt about it. So it's not that big a deal. So I guess we'll just kind of move on to the next one, which is best family game. Disney Infinity 3.0, Lego Dimensions, Skylanders, Supercharged, Splatoon, and Super Mario Maker, which obviously Super Mario Maker was gonna win. That was like a no-brainer
I
on this
love that
one.
game.
So, what are y'all thoughts on that?
I love Mario Maker.
It should have won.
I think
I
they,
haven't,
yeah.
I haven't
Like
played
we all
Mario
knew it was gonna
Maker,
win. That
so
at least you should have gotten. If anybody didn't.
I haven't played it yet, so
You haven't played. Oh, blasphemy! Get out.
I don't want
Bla-
to.
Damn, she
So-
like blasphemy. Get the hell out of here.
What? I don't want to build anything.
It's not gonna get. Hey, you don't have to build. Just play the levels. I don't even.
Yeah, if I buy the
Some
game,
people
I'm gonna want to build
Some
something.
people are makers and some people are just doers. So hey, do what you do. But best sports and racing game: FIFA 16.
Now
Forza
this one
Motorsport
really
6,
puzzled me.
NBA 2K16, Pro Evolution Soccer 2,
Seriously?
Rocket League, which is the winner. Is Rocket
Rocket League?
Rocket
Good.
Yeah.
I'm glad that Rocket
Out of
League took it. It was the one
soccer,
unique
NBA
one out of all of them.
2K16, And Forza?
Yep.
It's coming to Xbox.
Wow.
I
I'm
just
gonna
can't
check this
believe.
game out because I want to see how
Well,
see all the hype. Because I'm
Look,
sorry, Rocket League.
Look,
Like-
hey, that's some shit.
Rocket League is fun, but I don't
Yeah.
know. I just
I don't know.
I can't believe
mean,
it. When
It beat out Forza.
like
Okay.
that category in particular. I
That
don't
category was
Yeah.
pretty shot anyway. Best sports racing. They should have split that, but I guess
They
I
really
guess.
should have, but I don't think there was enough sports.
I don't think
enough
they
racing
didn't have
games.
enough racing
They didn't even
games
put
this year.
Madden in that category.
Well, I can't play Rocket League, so I'll stick to Forza.
It's
Alrighty.
coming to
Good
Xbox.
choice.
It's coming.
Nope.
I think Rocket League was the only unique one that was on that list, so I would say that it definitely did deserve it. Even though I didn't play it like that, it was fun for whatever little bit I played of it. But it was fun for what it was.
I don't know if that's the kind of category that should win
Yeah,
just based off uniqueness though.
Right.
Like what
No,
was the
I know
better
it's true. It's
Because,
true.
mechanics wise, like everything. There's so much that goes into like sports and racing.
Yeah, it looked to me it should have went to like Forza.
Yeah, I felt Forza should have gotten that one, but I mean, whatever.
To
I
be
guess.
perfectly honest, it wasn't even a category that was even
It wasn't
interesting.
even, yeah, that wasn't even a legit category. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna call it
Yeah.
out. That wasn't a legit category, but we're just gonna ignore that and call it what it is. It's not
Yeah.
legit. So we have best role-playing game. You have Bloodborne, Fallout 4, Pillars of Eternity, The Witcher 3, and Undertale, and The Witcher
So,
1, which is
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep, The Witcher won that one.
Yeah.
Best, what was it? Role-player game.
Yeah.
So,
hmm
I really
I
wanted
haven't
Bloodborne
played
to
the
take
game
that
yet.
one though.
Why?
Oh yeah, you were the one who played Witcher.
I
You
played
played
Witcher.
Yeah,
The
I
thing is
played-
that Witcher made me so mad, even though I spent like 3 months playing it. Witcher made me so mad to the point where it's like I don't want it to win anything, but then I get it deserves it because it held my attention for that long. So it was a really, I mean, The Witcher is a fantastic game. It's
Somebody
a fantastic game. Oh
That
yeah,
would be
that was
Will.
me. Sorry, I am so sorry. I should have muted my mic.
No, it's fine. You're
But
fine.
yeah,
Go ahead.
but yes, but that was pretty much it that I wanted to say. Like it's just Witcher 3 was good. It just did. I just personally enjoyed Bloodborne a little bit more.
Okay, no biggie, no biggie. I haven't played Witcher, so I can't really speak on it. But from peers, they seem to say that it was worth it and it deserved it. So I'll go along with that.
Hmm.
I will
Yeah.
go along with
It
that.
was. I love The Witcher 3. Yes, it had its fails and downfalls, but it's a great.
Hmm.
It's a really great game that keeps your attention. So
It is. It is. Yeah.
it deserved it.
It did. It did deserve it. Honestly, if The Witcher didn't win, it would have to have gone to Bloodborne, in my personal opinion. But like literally, one of those two, I was perfectly okay with. If anybody else would have gotten it, I would have been like, no.
Okay.
Phil is actually one of the few who platinumed the game.
I know,
Yeah.
right? Did you platinum it?
You know
Oh,
he
you
did.
did. Oh yeah, he platinums
Yeah.
almost all his games. Dude,
Yeah.
I platinum
Uh,
both Bloodborne and I platinum Witcher 3. So.
Yeah.
get out
Let's
of
go.
here. Just get out. Ugg.
So-
Anyway, I can't stand you. Best fighting game.
I can't stand you. Oh.
So the best fighting game, we have Guilty Gear, Xrd Sign, Mortal Kombat X, Rise of Incarnates, Rising Thunder, which Mortal Kombat X won.
That's good.
That was a great
Mm.
game.
Yeah, that was.
That was like the only fighting game, to be
Yeah.
honest. I don't know why Guilty Gear was even on that list, because Guilty Gear came out, what, like 2014?
Yeah.
It made no sense.
Like
Yeah, wait, didn't it? Like toward the end of 2014 or something?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
Did
Maybe
it come out
that's-
after the last Game Awards?
I think it came out afterwards.
Yeah,
It's
it came
probably
out
being-
afterwards,
yeah,
and that's probably
it's
why.
rolling over.
Then-
So we'll see Xenoblade Chronicles X on next year.
Mhm. Yeah, Xenoblade Chronicles.
All right, so moving on to the next title here, we got Best Shooter, which happens to be we got Call of Duty, Black Ops 3, Destiny, The Taken King, Halo 5, Guardians, Splatoon, and Star Wars Battlefront. And Splatoon
No
won Best
way.
is-
No. Splatoon
That one
should
I-
not have
Shooter.
won.
It should not have won. and
No.
I'm sorry, I stick with that.
yeah.
No.
Which one won?
Splatoon.
Oh.
No.
Best shooter, really?
No.
I mean, I
Yep.
can go with Best Online or something, but
It had a bunch of disconnects for me on Splatoon.
yeah, I always got disconnected. It didn't come with the the stuff that it has now. We had to wait for it to be
I mean, I don't
unloaded.
consider it.
I
A
mean,
shooter.
the single player mode was lackluster. You know,
Oh
and
God,
it's just,
yes.
I'm sorry, no, it's not a full-on shooter. And
personally
you can
would've
mad at me
voted
if you
for
want to,
Halo.
but that's just how I feel about it. There's
I mean,
other
don't get me
games-
wrong, Splatoon is a fun game, and I'm
We
pretty
all
sure
said
there are a
that.
lot of people that
Yeah,
there's
but
a lot
there's
of
all
people
kinds of
that
games that are fun, and we
you know,
can't-
that
yeah.
feels like it really deserved it as best
Yeah, I
shooter.
know.
But the thing is that I mean, it was a fun shooter. It's a great shooter. It had great multiplayer. But the
And there
thing
are
is
other
that
fun
when
and
I'm
great
talking about the shooter category, I'm talking about the whole game itself.
Right.
And it had a very lackluster single player. Battlefront didn't deserve it because it just came out and it doesn't, and it's just a multiplayer game to begin with, and you have to pay
Right.
for all the DLC. And so, to be honest, I felt like any other game could have won.
I would have voted for Halo because Halo
I
is the
would've
only
liked-
one in this
yeah.
category that has dedicated servers. And
That
like
is
I don't
true.
ever have any problems with Halo. Like I enjoy Black Ops 3, but it's got a little bit too
Makes you
many
wonder,
server
though,
issues
like-
for it to.
Yeah.
Well, I have a question.
Hmm.
Considering, some of these categories, these Nintendo games did not appear to fit into some of these categories. So, do you all feel that maybe the passing of Iwata had something to do with them winning certain?
I don't think so.
I don't think it
Probably.
was that, but I do
See,
think it
that
has
is what
something
I
to
was
do with-
thinking because they've never really won.
No, they won
I
last
don't-
year. They won
Yeah,
they won
won
Developer
last
of the
year.
Year. They won Game of the Year.
Yeah,
They won everything.
Yeah, they win stuff, but I think this had more to do with money. Because I mean, come on, let's be real. Nintendo's starting to open their eyes and
I
realize they
mean-
got to start shelling out. But it also is also, I guess, what like viewers' choice, I think it was, or something
Yeah.
like that too. So I don't know. It could be all kinds of things, but I'm sorry, I'm not gonna put this on Iwata's death that they won. I just
Yeah,
Well,
I
can't
don't.
do
no,
I
it
don't
without
think
them.
but
it's on that.
you gotta understand that Nintendo did only two games that were big that came out this year was Mario Maker and Splatoon. So
Yeah,
they already had those categories covered. I knew that Mario Maker wasn't gonna win. It just wasn't because it was a create and play type game, and unfortunately, there's a lot of depth in it, but still, there's not a lot of depth in it. I
plus
can't explain
Nintendo
that, but
helped
it's just
fund
like
the event,
it's
so
fun,
I mean,
but not Game of the Year
they're
fun.
paying the bills.
Yeah, I mean,
Nintendo was kind of paying the
greasing the
bills.
palms.
Yeah.
They weren't the only
So,
sponsor though. I don't know if money
Yeah, I
had to do
know.
anything with it either.
I know. Sometimes they do be buying these awards half the time. That's why I'm not too big on the awards. It doesn't mean much to me, but
mhm.
I mean, but it means a lot to these developers and publishers and stuff. So it is what it is.
It's funny because
But
this award in particular was mad low key. Like nobody even know who
yeah, no,
won.
they didn't announce it. They
Yeah.
didn't announce it at all. They actually posted it after the awards because I guess they must have thought that people it would have been a riot in the streets or something. I don't know.
Well, no, because what they did was that
Splatoon.
they took 10 categories that they were gonna show on stage, and then the other 10 would go underneath because they were putting the music people and the world premieres in between. So
Yeah, but this one didn't even get spoken about until the whole awards was over. Literally, like
yeah,
the
that's
was
true.
over. Then they
But
were
they
like,
messed up. They
they
messed up.
messed
They
up
said
and
that
forgot to
Splatoon
put it in.
also won best
Yeah.
multiplayer. That's what the announcer said, but she was
Oh.
supposed to say best shooter, and she didn't say it. She
Oh.
messed up.
Man.
Oh, I see.
Another one. You had one job. Everybody messing up in these.
I know,
Everybody messed up in
right?
that award show. It was really bad, especially when
Yeah.
they announced Game of the
Oh,
Year
no,
before
hold
it was
on.
supposed to come out.
We're gonna get to that. So, best action adventure, we had Assassin's Creed Syndicate, Batman Arkham Knights, Metal Gear Solid 5, Ori and the Blind Forest, Rise of the Tomb Raider, and Metal Gear 1.
Metal Gear
And
1.
I'm sorry, I'm
Rise
not.
of the Tomb Raider should have won that one.
That's
But
what
that's
I
just
I
me.
agree.
How did
Tomb Raider should have won.
I thought Tomb Raider should have won, but whatever.
I don't know, but that's just me. I'm just saying Rise of the Tomb Raider
Solid an
deserved
adventure
that one.
anyway?
Like Tomb Raider
Well, this
Really?
one was an adventure. This one
Action
was an adventure because
is best.
yeah.
Yeah, best action adventure, and Tomb
it
Raider should
is.
have won.
Oh
Mhm.
no. Metal Gear.
Yeah, that's a play some Tomb Raider. Trust and believe. You'd have been like, what? Yeah, that should have won.
Tomb Raider should
I
have won
think the reason why
something.
Tomb Raider lost was because it was an exclusive.
Yeah.
Exclusives
Yeah.
usually have a hard time winning because it doesn't reach a big audience
Yeah.
like that. So
Sure. So we have best performance, which is Ashley Birch as Chloe Price from Life is Strange, Camilla Luddington as Laura Croft from Rise of the Tomb Raider, Doug Cockle as Geralt, The Witcher 3, Mark Hamill as the Joker, Batman Arkham Knight, and Vivi Seth whatever from Her Story. In Her Story, Vivi wins, and
What is her story?
I have to say this real quick.
Never heard of that game.
Chick who was,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. The chick who had to do this award, she had one freaking job and she got there. Like she said, what did she say, Witcher or something when she was doing it? Like I don't know.
no, it wasn't her. It was
was the
Jade
card.
Raymond. It was Jade
Yeah, it was
Raymond.
the lady who was doing the other lady.
The
that
other
was doing
one.
the-
Yeah, and she messed it up. She said The Witcher 3, The Witcher 3, and then so
Yeah.
they gave her the game of the year envelope instead, and everybody was freaking confused. They're like, "What?"
Yeah, I'm just like whatever. But yeah, I've never heard of this
Yeah.
game. I don't even know this chick, and how does she win over Mark Hamill?
I don't
let
understand
alone
either.
Doug Cockle, or even freaking Laura freaking Croft, Camilla. Like all three of these people should have been amongst the ones that won. And I'm
Yeah.
even kicking out Home Chick who did Chloe from Life is Strange because I love that game. But this random person, and so it makes me curious about this game because if she won best voice actor or whatever, like best performance or something, I need to know how and why.
Well, according to what I understand about the game, I've never personally played it, so I could be completely wrong. But from what I understand and I gather, it's literally it was a really in-depth game that was on PC. It never came out on consoles, I don't think. So what it is that they're literally you're going through tapes and files of things, and this woman is talking, and this is her. Supposedly, I think her brother or her husband got murdered, and they're blaming it on her. So you have to find evidence that proves that she did it or that she didn't do it. And then so you have to like look at all these conversations. So she hits on you in some of them, and then there's some where you're going through like all these files and stuff. So it's like
Alright,
it's like a very mystery
Still
game.
not
So
excited for the
not excited.
I think Mark Hamill should have got that due to the fact that he's the Joker, and the Joker is everything.
Well,
to
that's
me.
the only
So
reason
I
I
honestly
say no,
say that he
because
should have won.
I voted for the Joker, but
I would have liked Laura or a guy from Witcher maybe to get it, but
Mhm.
it is what it is. So
It is what it is. The person that nobody heard of the game that won. That's like a Taylor Swift moment back in 2009.
Oh gosh.
that was so funny. So games for impact. We have Sibylle or something like that. Her Story, Life is Strange, Sunset, and Undertale. And thank God, Life is Strange won.
Oh, it did.
Yeah,
Okay.
it did. It actually got something, so I'm happy with that. I don't games for impact. Like, I don't know what that title is actually.
I
but
don't know what that
okay.
means, but okay.
Like, is that a new title? Did they come up with that this year or something?
Last
Yeah.
year it was Games for Change.
Games for
Yeah.
Games for impact. Okay,
Mhm.
well, cool. So we'll just move on to best narrative. Her Story, Life is Strange, Tales from the Borderlands, The Witcher 3, and Until Dawn. And this chick, Her Story again.
Well, I can see that.
It should have went to The Witcher. It really should have went to The
We should have
Witcher.
went to Until Dawn. Until Dawn was
Until
good too.
Dawn should have got this category.
That was a good game.
That.
Yeah. So
Well, I haven't played
I don't
Until
know.
Dawn, but
Like I said, I'll try it out.
if I did, I probably would agree. But for what I played, I would have to say The Witcher deserved it.
Yeah, either one.
But
And since
whatever.
I don't know, I obviously would have picked Life is Strange, but that's just me. So we have best score soundtrack, and this thing did not open up. Okay, here we go. Fallout 4, Halo 5 Guardians, Metal Gear Solid 5, Ori and the Blind Forest, and The Witcher 3, and Metal Gear Solid 1.
I would have to say that Ori and the Blind Forest deserved that one, but that was just me. I mean, I haven't played Metal Gear like that to say that. Usually Metal Gear has good music, but I would have to say, from what I personally played out of all those games, I would have to say that it goes to Ori.
Cool. Anybody else?
I don't know. Halo 5 got some dope music.
Yeah.
That's just me.
That too.
Halo 5 was rocking a little bit there.
I'm a little salty. Halo 5 ain't get nothing. Like nothing.
I noticed this so far.
That's salty.
It's like Halo didn't win anything.
Much a little salty.
Microsoft must didn't give too much money.
I don't think anybody cares about mobile games, but Lara Croft Go won it.
Ew.
Okay, moving on.
I'm mad that it won against Monster
They
Hunter.
actually
Like, are you
have
kidding
And
me?
then I don't know of any. Oh well, I guess we do care about the independent games. So we have Axiom Verge, Her Story, Ori and the Blind Forest, Rocket League, and Undertale, and Rocket League won. What?
I think that was pretty good. I think.
Yeah, that was a
it
good
was
choice. That was a good choice.
I would have went with Ori.
Amen.
Oh wait, Ori was on that list.
Ori was on that list. I would've went with Ori.
Then it goes to Ori for me then. But I don't mind Rocket League winning. That's
I mean, I'm
what
over it. It is.
Many of those games are pretty dope, so I ain't tripping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we have Developer of the Year, which is Bethesda Games, CD Projekt Red, From Software, Kojima Products, fuck you, Nintendo. We have CD Projekt Red that won that one.
They deserved it.
They
They deserved it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I think they did too.
Yeah.
They've been doing a lot of good things.
But
And then we
usually-
have your.
Oh,
Go
no,
ahead.
I'm so sorry. I was just gonna say usually the developer of the year, whoever wins that, the game of the year that they created wins.
Yeah, so I'm thinking
So-
The Witcher.
Yeah,
I'm thinking The
usually.
Witcher 3 won Game of the Year, didn't it?
Well, let's see. Bloodborne, Fallout 4, Metal Gear Solid, Super Mario Maker, and The Witcher 3 is the winner.
Yeah.
What won last
Sorry
year?
for ruining that. But just like Woman ruined Game of the Year before it
I'm
happened.
pretty sure people already knew what the winners were.
Yeah, everybody
They
knew.
should've
Yeah,
known by
everybody
now.
knew.
But yeah,
Because The Witcher 3 was the one
it's
that was
showing how
most,
it
I
goes,
guess,
so.
like impactful. It came out like it was a summer game, and usually the summer game, if it came out in the summer,
yeah, you
and
got
it
the
was
whole
really
summer
good.
for everyone to
You-
play it
yeah.
and stuff.
mm-hmm.
Now, which one won last year? Like, what won last year for Game of the Year? I don't
Nintendo won
remember.
last year, that I know. But what was the
What was
game
the
last year?
game?
Was it Mario Kart? No, it
No,
wasn't Mario.
Nintendo
It was
didn't
Super
ever
Smash
have.
Brothers, I think it was that
Are you
one.
sure?
No, it
I'm
wasn't.
not sure.
It was Dragon Age Inquisition.
Yeah, Dragon Age won last year.
Yeah,
As
I
Game
remember
of the
that.
Year for
Yeah,
real?
game of the year was
it was Dragon Age.
Dragon Age.
I swear it was a Nintendo game.
No,
No,
Nintendo got developer of the
Nintendo got
year.
developer of the
Mhm.
year
Are you
though.
serious? I
Yeah,
can't even remember last year that.
get out.
No, I just saw that they had that Zelda trailer afterwards, and it just completely just blew the
Yeah,
whole
Bandit
words out
had
of
a
the
team
water,
was
and
one
that was it.
contenders for Game of the Year last
So
year.
I was done.
So there's that. Let's see. They got some. I don't care about these things, the
What's the
fan choices and stuff
yeah?
down here.
What
But
is
who did watch the actual Game Awards, and what was your kind of take on it? With the pacing and all that good stuff. Kind of, I don't know. Mia
What
I saw the
happened?
Game Awards. Personally, I thought it wasn't as great as it could have been.
could have been better.
Wait.
Last year was better, even though I don't remember it. But the reason why I say last year was better was because a Zelda premiere, and that made everything better.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
that's
Yeah,
all
But
I needed, yo.
but the world premieres that they even showed in this were like they were just DLC and like games
Yeah.
that weren't even going to come out on consoles. I'm like, really? Why are you showing me this?
There was a lot of games that we already knew that were on the horizon.
Yeah.
So like I watched the Game Awards mostly to see what world premieres they were gonna, announce, and for the most part it just seemed like we already knew half of those games. It's a couple of
Yeah.
new ones, and then the rest of the Game Awards was just kind of filler for me because I honestly,
Yeah, it was a lot of filler. Too much filler.
yeah, like all the
Mhm.
chicks singing and stuff, like I don't
Hell no.
care, don't know who you are.
The best thing was Quantum Break and Dead Mouse. That was it.
Yeah, Dead Mouse was cool, but the way they abruptly
The way
stopped
they ended it,
I
though.
think there's probably something else they were supposed to do, but they had to cut it short because whatever happened just
With
wasn't a thing.
Kojima, probably what
That
happened with
Kojima
Kojima,
thing,
they
that
cut
was
it
the
off.
highlight, yeah.
Hmm.
There was I doubt it was that. I think it was something else. They were probably supposed to show us something or do something after Dr. Mao, but probably they weren't able to, so they were like, hey man, as soon as he's done, just cut this thing short, and that's what they probably did. So
Yeah.
it is what it is,
Mhm.
but being that, fuck Konami.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Dude, shout out to homie for actually putting them on blast like that. 'cause
Yeah,
he
that
I'm
was
didn't
crazy,
glad.
have to
yo.
do that.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
He put them on
So-
straight blast.
But he could have been in severe trouble for doing that, though, and I give
don't
him
think he
props for
cared.
still doing it.
I
No,
don't
I
think
don't think.
He
I don't
he
think
got
does
enough,
care.
like, he has
Like,
enough contacts and stuff, like, he don't care.
Mm.
He's from last I checked, he's been blacklisted already, and
Yeah.
they blocked him on
Yeah,
Twitter. So I mean,
because
that's
of-
about the worst they can do to him. So
Yeah.
and I'm pretty sure he
it
could
just.
give two
I
shits
mean, I
about
knew he
it.
was gonna get messed up from it.
So whatever, he probably doesn't care. Like,
He doesn't care. He's like, this is a video game
Like,
award show. It's
yeah,
not like
like-
MTV or something like that.
but bravo to him for putting that nail in the coffin, though, right?
Good. I said that he ended it and he called a company out that should have been called
Right.
out, and I was very happy with that.
Yeah, he put a nail in that coffin, so kudos to him on that. But yeah, the Game Awards, whatever. So Nia,
All right. Hold
let's
on.
go ahead and do yours. You got it?
I got it. All right. So, for those of you guys who are unaware, Time Magazine had an interview with the new global president of Nintendo. I forget his first name, last name Kimishima, and I'm gonna go over this article. It's a little bit lengthy, so I'm gonna try my very best. Like, if it gets too lengthy, I'll just kind of go over the bullet points, I guess.
That's
But let's see. It says 14 things Nintendo President Tatsumi Kimishima told us. And the first thing that they talked about was about mobile. So it goes, but the company plans for mobile, its next console, and how long he'll be in charge. New Nintendo President Tatsumi Kimishima spoke exclusively to Time about the company's future, including what Nintendo's new fellowship roles entail. Why, contrary to reports, he never said the Wii U would be a failure, what Nintendo account and My Nintendo are more broadly meant to do, and how long he hopes to remain at Nintendo's helm. Here's lightly edited transcript of the conversation. And it goes, the headline is, it's in accord with his predecessor that Nintendo shouldn't blindly port its IP onto mobile devices. And I quote, Nintendo has talked for years about increasing the gaming population, says Kimishima. But to further that goal, we want to increase the population who has access to Nintendo's IP first and foremost. Of course, the smart device business is not a simple business. It is a highly competitive business. And so for us to take our IP and drop it into the smart device business, if in that existing red ocean, I believe would not be a very successful strategy to take. We want to increase the population of those people who have access to our IP, and we also need to make the way they access our IP as simple as we can or as easy as we can. And that's how we're going to make the smart business successful. And smart devices are just one piece of a bigger puzzle. What we really want to do is we want people to interact with our IP, he says. And so we want to increase the frequency with which they encounter our IP, whether that's through theme parks or merchandise with our IP, and just images and visual interactions with Nintendo IP. So basically what he's saying is what we already knew. He's not just, porting over games to mobile because he feels like there's already so many games out there in that space, and he wants to try to basically just make them, simple but unique so that, the general population will just kind of have access to like the Nintendo brand, essentially. Kind of like what they're doing with Miitomo, just so people just kind of, just see something Nintendo on it. And so the next headline goes, making Nintendo account and My Nintendo work well is his number one goal with regards to the company's mobile strategy. And so, of course, we need something to connect all of this together. And this is where My Nintendo as well as Nintendo account system comes in. He says, describing Nintendo account as a strategy to unify all of Nintendo's properties across pretty much every platform, from Nintendo's own devices to tablets and smartphones to PCs and beyond. My Nintendo, a crucial subset of Nintendo account, and the company's full-on rethink of it, recently retired games-focused Club Nintendo will still be a rewards program, but with far broader scope. So basically, their new rewards program. Let me see if I can go through and see some big points. So for My Nintendo, of course, you'll get points in traditional ways like through the purchase of software. But we're also looking at non-traditional ways of getting points just by accessing our content wherever you may find it. And you'll be able to use those points in some way or another to get benefits at places like theme parks or perhaps when purchasing merchandise. So we already knew that stuff. So again, we're looking forward to strengthening the connections between My Nintendo and Nintendo account system, as well as, and this is, I think, probably our number one goal overall, connecting all of our Nintendo IP within this framework and allowing our consumer base to have access to our IP via this and gain benefits from that access and access that connection. I think that would be something that no other company has to offer. So he's basically just trying to unify everything from like Nintendo accounts to the way that we access merchandise and the way that we access their IPs and stuff like that. And to me, that's good news. Hopefully that means that they get together, because like one of the things that like I personally kind of say about like Nintendo is everything's just too freaking segmented. So they really need to find a way to like buckle down and just make everything more streamlined, you know. And so then in here he also talks about Miitomo, which is the first application that's coming in March. And basically he says that we believe Miitomo is something that's going to get people wanting to, through the use of these very well-known Mii characters, speak and communicate with their friends, he says. And when they're using Miitomo, it's going to be easier to do some of the Miitomo features if you have a Nintendo account. It'll be easier to reach out and talk to your friends. Once you have that account set up, I think it's a very easy transition for folks to want to register for My Nintendo so they can start earning points. Whoa, so Miitomo is going to be a way for people to sign up to My Nintendo accounts. Okay. That's actually kind of dope.
Okay.
I didn't even really think about using that device like that. But for those of you guys out there that have 3DSs, it looks like it's kind of going to sort of work kind of like what's it called, Street Pass 2. Like the way that you kind of interact with like people, and like, you know, it's kind of going to be like a social network or whatever. And so he talks more about how they didn't do a good job of explaining Miitomo. And then he also went on to say that he did not say that the Wii U was going to be a failure. So I'm going to go ahead and quote that. He said the Nikkei reporter's question to me was the Wii U was not selling at this point in its lifetime as well as the Wii was at the same time. Why is that? Says Kimishima. And my answer is that the Wii at this point has sold over 100 million units worldwide. And even through there are people saying, hey, since the Wii was so successful, Wii U is also going to be successful and is going to sell like wildfire as well. I looked at that global install base and said that it might not sell as well. That was my response. Not that it wouldn't sell, but that it would be more difficult because the install base of the Wii because of the install base of the Wii itself. The point that I was trying to get across is that the Wii has sold so much and is being played by so many people, it's not going to be easy to make them leave that and come to the next system. That was my only point. That it was a difficult task for us to bring those consumers from Wii to Wii U, but unfortunately, it doesn't look like my message got across clearly. So that's what he said. It is what it is. Whatever. And then he says that he acknowledges the Wii U's problems, but says the company intends to keep making software for the console. That's what they say. But you already know how that go. They don't support these consoles when the next one comes. So next, that's what they say. But I don't know because 2016 is looking worse than 2015. But anyway. And then he also went on to say that people aren't using Amiibo the way that Nintendo intended. And just to kind of paraphrase that, he kind of said that people are kind of using... Yeah, seriously. But at least he know it. At least he ain't blind. Yep. But he basically, just to paraphrase, he went on to just kind of say that Amiibo are used more for collectibles than actually interaction with the games. Exactly. And say they want to make it to where they have more access to like the games. I don't really want that, but whatever. And then he also goes on to talk about the new organization, quote unquote, fellow positions that are making sure Nintendo IP ensures long in the future. And for those of you guys who don't remember from the investors meeting earlier this year, Kimishima's first investors meeting, they appointed Shigeru Miyamoto as the creative fellow and Genyo Takeda as the expert, the console design expert. So he was named the technology fellow, which like is just some weird some weird title. Like I ain't never heard of nobody calling somebody a fellow. But he was saying, I'm just gonna go ahead and quote him because I don't want to get him wrong on that. But then he goes, with respect to Mr. Miyamoto and Mr. Takeda, we really want to do the whole fellowship position in the organization is to leverage all of the knowledge and all of the experience that they have to look at the future of Nintendo, to bring that creative force into crafting and developing what we are going to be doing in the future. And I'm not talking about just the next year or two, but the future, and you can hear the capital F there, I think. So it sounds like they're kind of more of taking like an overseer type role, not really too much like with their hands in the pot and all that stuff like Miyamoto, and not having a second stick on the original 3DS. But that ain't my business though. But but then he goes on to say, as far as the second big role that I have, it's really working day to day with the talented staff that we have at Nintendo and growing and nurturing that creative force. You have people like Mr. Kono, responsible for the Mario Kart series, Mr. Koizumi, yes, we need that DLC, who is in our Tokyo office with Mario Galaxy, so forth. So those guys are really working on that ground level, saying, okay, let's create the software we need and tomorrow. Yes, today and tomorrow. And Mr. Miyamoto and Mr. Takeda are of course, supporting them, but also, as I said previously, looking at the future of Nintendo. So they're basically doing what they did with the whole Splatoon guys. They're just kind of working with them and kind of nurturing them and helping them to kind of be more efficient in the way that they make games. And I hope that also means that they're going to be making some new studios. But they also talked about the quality of life initiative is still on the way. I guess it's something that, was kind of like Iwata's idea, so maybe that's the reason why we haven't really heard much about it after, since his passing. Yeah. Dedicated platforms remain Nintendo's chief preoccupation, so no doom and gloom. They're still going to be making consoles, and NX is going to be their next one. It says NX, the code name for Nintendo's next system, is in development, says Kimishima, reaffirming that Nintendo will have more to say about it next year and calling it a step in our dedicated device strategy, the core and primary focus of our business. And he says NX is definitely a departure from the Wii and Wii U, which is like a thank God
God,
Ah,
moment.
oh my
Like,
yes.
God, finally.
yes, yes, bitch, yes. So he goes on to say, as far as NX goes, I've said it's different and obviously a new experience. He tells me, if you look back to the beginning of our conversation today, we talked about the transition from Wii hardware to the Wii U hardware and how difficult it was to explain to the consumer base what is different and new about new hardware. It's difficult to convince them to switch from their current platform to the next platform. It won't be difficult for me. As
Mhm.
long as they do it right, it won't be difficult for me. Anyway, so that being said, I can assure you that we're not building the next version of Wii or Wii U. It's something unique and different. It's something where we have to move away from those platforms in order to make it something that will appeal to our consumer base, and they better do it.
Thank you.
They
They
better do
better.
it.
Hallelujah.
Hey, hallelujah. That's right. And then they talked about where the NX name comes from, and it doesn't. He said it really doesn't have any meaning behind it or whatever. It's just a code name. And he said that he will definitely not be a 1 year president. I remember that everybody was kind of confused about whether or not he was going to be, there for long or not. But he says that I know that everyone is interested in how long I will be around. He says, laughing, I really want to say that all of the initiatives I've discussed with you, these are on me. These are my responsibility, and I have every intention of seeing those to fruition. Also, something I think that maybe was misunderstood previously was there was talk about me being around for 1 year. What that was is the board of directors. As a member of the board, the term is for 1 year. And at the next shareholders meeting, we have to be reconfirmed as board members. That happens on a yearly basis. But there was never any meaning that I would only be president for 1 year in that conversation. What I really want to do is work with the young and talented staff members that we have at Nintendo and continue to nurture and grow them so that they can express their creativity, but also so they can take on some of those management roles and become the leaders we need to take the company into the future. And so that sums up the key points of that interview. And I really like how straight to the point and straightforward Mr. Kimishima is. Like, dude
Appreciate
is
that.
on point. So I really have I'm not gonna say high hopes, but I am cautiously optimistic that Mr. Kimishima know what the hell he doing. And part of the reason why I'm kind of sort of kind of optimistic about Kimishima is because for those of you guys who don't know, he was the CEO and president of Nintendo of America during the Wii days. And I know you guys remember the campaign We Would Like to Play. Like
Yeah.
he was a part of the administration over at Nintendo of America that came up with that. That was a genius ass campaign, and it really did help sell the Wii, and it sparked a lot of interest in people who would not have ordinarily have played games. So, and not only that, he actually lived over here when he was doing that job, so he kind of knows a little bit about like what Westerners like. I would hope, just based on his experience over here in the West. So that's my little 2 cents. Y'all done heard me talking enough. I guess I'll go ahead and give Kuuppon the floor. Let her continue to host the show.
For the most part, everything that you just said sounded very awesome, and
Yes.
I'm gonna remain cautiously optimistic as well. He sounds like a man who knows what he's doing. He knows what vision he's looking forward to, and where he wants to go in Nintendo. So I'm totally excited to hear and see what he does. And I'm glad he reaffirmed that he's not a 1 year president because I was concerned about that. So that's good to know. And as far as everything else he has, all the different bullet points, we'll just have to wait and see in the future how that goes about. But right
Right.
now my eyes are on the NX. What's the name gonna be? What is it? Is it a console? All this stuff. There's still a lot of back and forth speculation and whatnot. And what do they plan on doing as far as launch and all that good stuff? So I'm fairly excited, but at the same
Yeah.
time, want to remain at a remain at a simmer.
Yep.
don't want to get too high up there, boiled over, and be mad at the end of the day.
Yeah. And one thing
So
that really kind of gives me hope too is the fact that he's a businessman.
yeah, I like the fact. Yeah, I definitely
Yes.
like that he is a businessman and he's gonna take business approaches as opposed to kind of fanciful approaches and wild ideas. And I'm not saying that Iwata was over the top, but he was at heart a man about about different things and trying out stuff that's not really the norm. So I
Right.
do appreciate his imagination, but I kind of want a businessman this time around, someone who understands the game, who understands what the consumers want, and who is looking to the future and trying to kind of grow Nintendo. I think he's probably the
Right.
perfect guy for it. He'll probably help
Right.
Nintendo grow up a little bit. So,
Mhm.
and I'm okay with the whole family friendly vibe. I would just like a little bit something on the side,
Right.
so, go ahead, kids get the daytime, go put them to sleep, and then wake them up like we had talked about last night. So I'm cool
Yeah.
with that.
One thing that I
So,
forgot to mention that wasn't in this bullet points, which was in the actual interview, is when they were talking
hmm
about it in regards to the Nintendo Directs. He doesn't plan on actually being in the Directs himself because he kind of prefers to be more like a behind the
yeah.
scenes kind of pulling the strings kind of guy. You know what I mean? So like that kind of
hmm
just further drives the point home that he's all about just trying to keep the company afloat. He's all about making proper business decisions. And while I appreciate Owada so much for trying to be the face and trying to be the forefront of
Right.
Nintendo and kind of bring some more, whimsical things, fanciful things like Kuuppon said to the forefront. Like, also like Kuuppon said, we need somebody that's gonna get in there and like stick and move and jab and do what they need to do to get the freaking company back on course. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So, how do anybody else have anything else to say on that?
Well,
Any-
personally, what I have to say on like the matter of the NX, I'm very, very excited for it. But I'm like you guys said, I'm gonna be like I'm gonna be optimistic, but I'm also gonna be cautiously optimistic. And so with this NX, we've been hearing a lot of blueprint ideas, and we've been hearing a lot of what it could be, and just pretty much what it is. And it excites me because since he understands the North American market, because that is his specialty, I would like to think that he understands that in order for Nintendo to be successful, and since he's a businessman and he wants numbers and he wants those Wii numbers to pop up again, he needs to reach the core gamer. Unfortunately, you can sell to other people, that's good. Sell Mario to people, but you need to get those third party support back. And that's what he needs to really, really do. He needs to get those third parties because if he loses that, nobody's gonna want your console because you can't play Call of Duty on it. So Call of Duty fans aren't gonna get your console, and other games that people like, they can't get that experience on Nintendo. So they would prefer to go with a console that gives them the majority of what they want.
yeah.
So the thing is that when Nintendo's having like a dry season where like or like a dry year where the only thing they have is two games, and then they had to like basically delay a game to make it seem like they actually have a game coming out next year, like Star Fox. So like that's the only thing they have, and then supposedly Zelda is coming out next year, but they said for sure Zelda is going to come out by the end of this year, last year, and
Yeah.
look what happened. So what I'm assuming is that this is just my guess. They say that they're going to support the Wii U. They say they're going to support it. And for the first year, they will. Zelda Wii U will come out for Wii U. But damn well that when Zelda gets released, it's going to be like the Wii all over again because they said that with the GameCube that Zelda Twilight Princess was going to be a GameCube game, and that was it. But then look what happened. It comes out. Zelda Twilight Princess is a launch title and comes out a whole year before it comes out on the Wii U. So honestly, I think that they need Zelda to be a launch title for the console for it to even sell, because then
Yep.
people will go crazy, especially in open world Zelda. So people will go crazy if they announce Mario Galaxy 3. People will go crazy. F-Zero, people go crazy. Mario Kart 9 or something like that. I mean, people will go crazy and they'll get this console. Um, so the thing is that they also need that third party support. So if they know that I can get Call of Duty Black Ops 4, whatever the other Infinity Ward version of the game is going to be, and then they get Dragon Quest, 11, and possibly the Final Fantasy 7 remake and all these things like that. If it has that promising future where it can get those games, oh, Nintendo NX is gonna be top priority, and I hope that they have graphics at the like I hope that they're up to date with their stuff.
Like,
Let's just say that.
Yes.
I know that that's a little too much, but
HD is cool, but let's pump it up some more.
I
Let's
want them
do
to
it,
pump it
man.
up. I want
Dang.
them to be more powerful than the PlayStation 4. That's what I want.
Yeah.
But that's wishful thinking.
The
I mean,
only
it's
thing that makes me
par
kind
or
of
power.
like,
Like,
go ahead, Coupon.
well, all I was gonna say is like I don't know. I'm not. I can sacrifice. Like if you can make things work without having to really focus so much on power, you could still give me all the stuff that I'm looking for. Then I'm okay with that. But if you have to bump up the power and you have to sacrifice other things, try to make a happy medium in there somewhere. Just give me some kind of happy medium. Don't make it so powerful where you literally you're so focused on trying to beat the other guys or something. Like don't make it a race, a race war. Like let's not do that. Let's not be in the race with the Xbox and PlayStation, but make it on par with them, and I'll be fine with that. I don't
Yeah.
really care if you're trying to beat them or not. That's not my major concern. I just want you to be on par, something that can, you know, stand its own, and that gives me what I'm looking for as a point, a matter of fact. And I'm kind of, I'm just want Nintendo to not be the secondary console anymore.
Right.
Is all I'm saying. Like, can you be my primary again?
I would
And if you
love
can't,
that.
that's fine.
I would
That'd
love
be
that.
nice. But I'm just
Yeah.
looking forward to the whole. I would like Nintendo to be my primary again. Is what I basically is looking for. If you can do that, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. The only thing that
That'd be
gives me
awesome.
hope about the actual hardware itself is that a Western individual is going to be engineering the hardware. That's the only thing that
Yeah.
gives me hope. But that don't really mean nothing because it's like Nintendo.
I'm reading Lawrence. He says it's good to have a business mind, but keep it gaming first. I'm with that. I think he could do both. I think what like he said, being behind the scenes is his thing, and he's gonna let everybody else, do the keep everything fun and gaming and stuff.
Right.
So I think he has that in mind. He's just gonna keep focused on the business sense of things, and then just kind of go back and forth with everybody else
Yeah.
and kind of get information from them. But I think he's gonna let them stay on the forefront and do all the fun gaming stuff and all that stuff, and he's just gonna keep behind. He's like the Shadow
Right.
King at this point. That's what I'm
Right.
calling him, the Shadow King.
Why
He's behind
wouldn't they be keeping their gaming first? Is what I need to know. Like
Yeah,
just because he's a
I mean that's
business
just
minded
Nintendo.
individual,
Yeah, but
they're
that's
a
Nintendo
games
anyway.
company. Of course they're gonna keep it games first. That's just happening by proxy,
That
by nature,
Yeah, that's default. Yeah,
by
that's a default
default.
thing.
Yeah.
But that's Nintendo in general. They have always had fun games. I don't have a problem with their games so much as I have had issues with some of their business practices.
Exactly.
So
Mhm.
that's mostly what it was. It was the business thing. So now that I know that we have a guy who's working behind the scenes and working on that business practice and the business sense, I'm cool with it. And I have no qualms that they'll get their games back on par, because they have been a little lackluster in the gaming sections as well. And it's probably been a blow since Iwata's gone or whatnot and things of that nature. But maybe they just need a fresh year, which is on the horizon, and we'll just have to see what happens. So I'm cautiously optimistic as always, and we'll just go from there. That's just how I feel about it. We'll
Agreed
see.
1,000%.
Yeah, we'll see. Anybody else have anything else to say? Crickets. All right.
I have two quick questions in
Okay, go
regards
ahead.
to the NX before we switch. It's pretty quick. One, do you think that because this is more targeted to core gamers, do you think they're still going to do the gimmick controller because it did so well on the Wii and that's what sold it to the masses? Or do you think they're going to just go with a regular controller? And then the second question is,
Wait, let me answer the first one real quick.
okay.
In my honest opinion, I think being Nintendo, and because they still want to honor Iwata, because that's what was, noted to, I think they'll still have some gimmick controllers. We'll probably still be able to use we'll probably be able to use controllers that we have now. They'll
Right.
probably still be compatible with the NX, but I don't think they're going to make anything new. So we'll be able to use our Pro controllers, our game pads, and our Wiimotes and nunchucks, but I just don't think with Kimishima, I don't think he's going to have them waste time, money, and energy on making a new controller. So so only the new controller that goes with the game system is probably what they'll probably have. It'll probably be a normal one, give or
Yeah.
take.
The only
Mhm.
thing that I could say for that question in particular is that there's a 50-50 chance it could be a
Yeah,
gimmick, and there's a 50-50 chance it
yeah,
could be a
That's
regular
pretty
kind of
much
where
controller.
it because we don't
And the
know.
kind of
reason
where
why I say that is because I don't know if y'all remember, but sometime earlier this year there was a patent that came out that had a controller that was supposed to be patented by Nintendo, and instead of like analog triggers on the controller, there was like scroll, like it was like a like scroll wheels or whatever, kind of like how
yeah,
you've got like on your mouse
mouse.
pad. Like I guess maybe that's
Mhm.
gonna be like their answer to analog. I don't know if they keep it because sometimes people patent things and they never use them. And then
Right.
also on the controller, I do, if I recall correctly, there was also a screen on that controller. So it's possible that they're gonna create some kind of gimmick, but it's also possible that it could be secondary or not be there at all. But for Nintendo's sake, I really do hope that whatever controller that they use for the NX, it is secondary and not like the
Yeah,
centerpiece of
not
their console,
mandatory.
like the Wii U gamepad. Because don't get me wrong, I love the Wii U gamepad. I love off TV play. Um,
Yeah,
I like what I can do on the gamepad. Like I like the fact, that I could use the touchscreen and kind of access menus a little bit better. It's a little bit of a convenience, but I don't think that it's so much of a convenience to where it's something that should continue on forever and ever and ever, and to continue to alienate potential buyers. So
right.
yeah, so that's pretty much what I feel about that.
Okay, cool. Anybody else? No. Okay, go ahead with your next question.
The next question: do you
Everybody's
think, because given Nintendo's track record due to backwards compatibility, do you guys possibly think that it would be dumb if they don't put backwards compatibility on this?
waiting. I don't know. I mean, with the fact that there's so many people who are just now getting a Wii U and don't really know all the information about the NX coming out, or don't feel like there is an NX coming out anytime soon despite all the signs, I think it would be beneficial to them to have backwards compatibility, just so we can, with the peripherals and everything and various games and stuff. I think it would be very beneficial. I would like to have backwards compatibility because I have a lot of games that I would like to go back to and play that I, just have on my backlog. And if I end up getting this new console, I just essentially threw away all these, and I can't play these games. I just threw them away, and I kind of want to. I was kind of thinking of using my Wii U to kind of put toward getting the new system. So if I give up this one and I can't play my old games, it's kind of pointless. And then, so there's that. I don't know. We'll just have to see. Um, I honestly, being it's Nintendo, they've never stopped before. I don't see why they would stop
No.
now. So
Right.
I think they'll probably continue forward with backwards compatibility. I
Yeah.
just hope in this sense that they don't, that with this backwards compatibility, it's not going to mess up the NX, because like they're saying that the NX isn't going to have anything to do with the Wii or Wii U. So in that sense, if it's not going to have anything to do with it, backwards compatibility might not be a thing either.
Yeah.
That's a possibility. They might cut backwards compatibility off completely.
Yeah.
So we'll
That's
have
what
to see.
worries me. That's what worries me about
That's
that
what worries.
statement.
I
That's
have a feeling that they're gonna cut it off. I
but
think they're gonna
I
go
think they
ahead,
might cut it.
Coupon.
Yeah, I think they might actually cut it though. Just with
But
when you read
that
that
would be
statement, I was like,
crazy.
It would be crazy, but think about it. Nothing to do with Wii or Wii U. That means no backwards compatibility, because you'd have to still have something to do with the Wii U, and they have to have some architecture of the Wii U to do compatibility. So think of it in that sense. They have to have
Yeah.
some kind of Wii U architect to keep backwards compatibility going.
Hmm.
I
So
don't think it's gonna have it.
I don't think
I
they
really
have.
don't.
I don't
Like
know.
I,
I
as
wanted
much as
to
I want
because
it,
I think it
I
would be
hope
a
I'm wrong.
smart
I
move.
literally do.
yeah, I want backwards
I
compatibility, but
want
I
backwards
don't think it's
compatibility. I
gonna
hope I'm dead
happen.
wrong. I will be the first to say, "Woo! Thank Jesus, I'm dead wrong." But I just, with that statement alone, and if that's what they're really doing, and they really plan on sticking to that, and he's not fucking around, that they will not have no architecture for the Wii U. And if they don't, then maybe even the peripherals won't even work. Our other shits probably won't work.
Mm-mm.
So
I'm
that
alright
we'll
with
probably,
that. If
and
it's
then that's where
better,
the 50-50 comes in with the whole having a new gimmick.
right?
So
Hmm.
a lot of stuff
Yeah.
looking bleak. Stop
True.
asking questions.
True that. True that.
What
My
you
only
got?
thing with that though is that if backwards compatibility is something that could potentially hold that system back from being all it could be, like take
Mhm.
that sucker out.
That's how I feel too.
I don't care. Like I like backwards compatibility. I
But
want
if
it to
it's gonna
stay
hinder, yeah.
right. Go ahead and get it out of there.
Yeah,
I don't even care.
like,
Like just take it
well, I
out.
mean, everybody wants backwards compatibility, but they want this. What do we do? You know,
Right.
like, or give us a poll to make the choice ourselves. I don't know.
Or if
No,
there's some kind
don't
of
make
way
the
that they can
consumers
make some
involved.
kind of
Don't put the
emulator where they don't really
yeah,
have to mess too much with like the insides of the console, then that could be a possibility as well.
or
Because
here's
that's
the
pretty
thing,
much what
or like an
Microsoft is
add-on
doing.
piece to the console, which
Yeah.
allows you to play your Wii U games and whatnot. It
Right.
just essentially sticks to the side. You hook it up, it's like USB ported or something. You can play your games that way,
Right.
and it doesn't take away from the actual architect of the system. And and it's probably gonna cost you a little something on the side, but I mean,
If
not
you want
everybody's
it,
gonna buy
hey.
it. But hey, it's whatever.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
I don't know.
shoot. It is what it is. Like I just want that the next system is like all that it could be. Like even if it doesn't have all like the
All the
third
features
party,
and all the
like
different bells and whistles.
right. I just want it to be the best Nintendo
Nintendo
box
can make
that
it.
it can
Right.
be
Yeah.
over everything. You
Mhm.
know? Cause like I really appreciate like the games I have for the Wii, but the overall system itself, like I'm just over it. Like I just
Right.
want the next thing.
It makes you like, But
And
anyway,
somebody in the
guys,
chat said that there's not enough actual big games to even worry about backwards compatibility on the Wii U.
true.
There's a lot of good
I
games,
mean, there's
but
some good games. It's just it wasn't as many as we could have had for this console, especially putting it up against the Wii. I mean, the
yeah.
Wii had a lot of games, mostly shovelware, but they did have a lot of good gems in there. And
Hmm.
then with the Wii U, comparing it against the Wii U, it's just like you can go into a store right now, and if all those games were on the shelves, you literally would probably pick out maybe five,
Right.
and those would be your top five games for the system. And that's just being honest. You know what
That's
I mean?
true. It's
This is
true.
being honest. You could literally pick five games right off the top, and you'll be like, okay, these are the games I'm gonna play for the rest of the generation of this system, and that's it.
So my homeboy is in the chat
Shovelware
right
for the Wii,
now.
not
I'm
Wii
sorry.
U.
My homeboy's in the chat right now. He said that there was apparently some rumor that came out recently saying that the NX could be a cluster system, which essentially means that the system could have interchangeable parts.
Oh, that would be interesting.
Hmm.
I
Huh.
don't know about all
I don't
that.
know
I
about
don't
all
know
that.
about all of that. That
It's
sounds a little
interesting, but
questionable.
after I thought about it, I'm just like, just no, Nintendo, don't come up with no more harebrained schemes. Just stop.
Just make one
Let's
good
stop being
console.
yeah, let's start with the freaking mastermind schemes. Let's just stick on the straight and narrow. See your focus your mind. You have a goal, stick with it. Don't be looking off to the side, sightseeing. Oh, that's a good idea. No,
Yeah,
like
just make one good
hopefully, I just
system.
hope Kimishima sticks with the straight and narrow. Don't
Yeah.
try no new gimmicks. If you have to add on to the system, that's fine. That's something you can add on later. But as far as what comes out of the box when I get it into my home, I don't want no cluster shit.
No, that's the worst rumor I've ever heard. I hope it's not true.
Yeah, I
Just
hope
give me a system that I can unbox, plug up, and get going.
Yeah, there you
Exactly.
go. And if you want to add on some peripherals from there or whatever the fucking case may be, that's fine. You can give me the choice to either buy it or not, but I just want to unbox my thing, plug it in, throw in a disc, play the game, whatever it is you do, and call it a day.
Sign in and go.
Exactly.
I don't want to have to put nothing together.
Right. So, hopefully that'll be good. So if anybody doesn't have anything else to comment on or bring to the table, we'll go ahead and log out. We're an hour 20 minutes in, so anybody? Nothing? Cricket!
No. Cricket.
Sitting here thinking about food.
I know, right? I'm hungry myself.
I'm
anyway,
thinking about that bed.
and I need
Yeah.
Xenoblade real quick. So I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to play some more Xenoblade. I don't know about y'all, going to bed. Some folks.
Yeah, I'm about to be about that Xenoblade life too.
Xenoblade, like,
Look,
Me and you
Kuuppon
can
and
jump on.
Mia will still be up while we sleep.
Yes, we are.
I ain't gonna be up too late. I gotta go to work in the morning.
Lying, I'm about to keep
yeah.
her up all night.
Look,
Oh
Damn.
no.
you go see posts from Kuuppon all night long.
Yeah,
Xenoblade.
yeah.
Yep.
Xenoblade.
I'm sorry. Oh, I have been kind of spamming everybody with the Xenoblade. I'm sorry. These creatures are interesting,
I
and
Ain't
like
they
nothing
taking
wrong with that.
pictures
That
in this
means
game.
that means you're enjoying the game. Ain't nothing
be
wrong with
scaring
that.
the hell out of me. That's for
Look,
sure.
I'm gonna Facebook my bed and the pillow.
Oh Lord.
Alrighty then. Well, if anybody, since we don't have anything else to talk about, I'm gonna go ahead and let everybody have the floor. Will, real quick, go ahead and log out, and we'll continue on from there. Log out, Will. I know you're on
You
mute.
be like a
He on
computer.
mute, isn't he?
You probably eating.
He probably eating. Mute. Wake up,
Wake up, Will.
Will.
Will,
Log out.
y'all.
The food is ready.
The food is ready.
Put
All
the
right.
plate
Well,
down.
anybody remember how he logs out? How he does his thing?
I forgot.
Look, my brain ain't working.
That sucks. Well, okay, Lynn, you go ahead and log out real quick.
Wake up, Lynn.
She's
I'm
sleeping.
awake. I'm awake.
Go
Hey
ahead and log
guys,
out.
this is Lynn, aka iPod One Reviewer. Thank you for watching the podcast. Be sure to follow everyone here on the panel. And yeah, we gonna leave it at that. Sleepy.
All right, Miss K, I can barely see you past that little thing there. Oh, okay, there we go. We got an arm. We got an arm. Go ahead and log out.
This your girl, Miss K. I am sorry I was not energetic. I'm just dead tired. But you know what? December the 21st, it's gonna be Team No Sleep all week long. I'll
Oh
be on
yeah.
vacation.
Yeah.
I will be on vacation, so we're gonna hit up that Xenoblade, whatever the hell else y'all want to play. Y'all, that's gonna be the week y'all have to hit me up. 'Cause, yeah,
I'm gonna have to
it's gonna
pick
be
up
Team No Sleep.
Xenoblade next week.
I'm gonna have to start up. I'm gonna have to start up Halo and all that good stuff. But yeah, the podcast was fun as always. Nia, thanks for the information. You're reading that to clarify some things. I'm glad you read that article to
Oh.
people so they can understand and not be making these old false accusations with this old dumb shit on YouTube. You read it right then and there. I'm glad you read it to people. So that's what's up. I think Nintendo's gonna do fine. With the Western culture, I think we'll be all right. But yeah, the podcast was fun. Subscribe to everybody on the panel, and let's do this again.
Alrighty. Miss Nia, go ahead and log out.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl Nia, the video game her again, and I'm so glad that my reading was great because I just got braces and I can't talk right, and I already can't talk. So, but
You sound adorable.
huh?
You sound adorable. You're
All of
fine.
a sudden, I'm in like middle school right now. Like, what is life? But but this was an awesome set it off cast. Again, I look forward to talking to these ladies every other week. So I'm logging out.
Alrighty, Miss Meek, go ahead and log out.
I like to say, had great conversation, good talking to my fellow gamer lady friend, and hope you guys enjoy and come to the next one. Next, set it off. It'll be episode 6, and I'm logging out. And make sure y'all check out everybody in this panel here.
Okay, go ahead, Will.
Hey guys, sorry, my internet is really, really stupid. But thank you guys so much for having me on this podcast. It was extremely great talking about all these things, and I hope you guys tune in for next week. And I enjoyed myself. Be sure to subscribe.
All right, and you know who I am. I guess I'll have some more gameplay up at some point. Just kind of been into the Xenoblade. So if you're on Facebook, you'll see all my spam posts for that. Follow me on Twitter and Twitch and all sorts of little places because I'll be all over the place. And I had fun with you ladies tonight and gentlemen. And we will see you guys on the next Set It Off cast. Ciao.
Peace.